Starting, stopping?
Well, how long you wait?
Well, it doesn't. Alright, guys. Mason, Jeff. You know what we're here for. We're here to show this off. We'll show you the actual layout, but I think the hotness that everybody's talking about right now is 9th edition obviously is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's freaking out. The sky's falling. So, I think it's mostly positive, actually, that I've seen. There's a reason that he's called Salty.
I actually feel a lot better about 9th edition than I did 8th and 7th.
That's actually a shocker, because
6 was kind of a long time coming, but then it sucked, and GW fixed that, kind of.
Slurp, slurp. Alright. He doesn't like anything, so I'm just surprised that he's not like, oh, this is going to be stupid.
I don't know. I like close combat armies, so this is, I mean, we laid this thing out. It's looking better. I don't know. I think close combat might be viable in this edition.
We'll definitely do some like cut scenes and like pan around to show you like the whole layout thing. But I was like, oh, this isn't going to be that big a deal with the whole board size thing. And then we were like, you know what? Let's see what it looks like. So we went and got a piece of MDF and we cut out the center of it and painted it black and put it around the edge. It picture frames it really nice. It looks cool. I think it's going to be cool having like all of your reserves.
Yeah,
and all your extra dice and
things. It's a nice spot for dead models and reserves and extra dice, pen, whatever. You know, all the things that you come along with wargaming other than your books. Which, I mean, I'm sure we'll have 800 books by this time next year. Yeah, more books. More books.
No.
4 books per army.
No, I think GW's going to do it right, and we're just going to have 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's what they said in 8th.
I don't know. Let's see.
Anyway, it looks, the board size is actually surprising.
Oh, I know what I was going to mention. I was just thinking it. So a lot of the videos that people have been talking about, I've obviously we watch Frontline because they're always talking about like the things that are coming up.
Because they know all this special secret information.
Yeah. Not just them, but everybody's like, well, it'll give more space for tournaments and stuff. But I actually like this. I would like it if they would leave it like this. If they give you the 4x6 and give you this border to put stuff on. Because I don't know about you guys, but whenever you're playing a tournament, there's always extra stuff all over the table.
Yeah,
you know, like papers, extra models, dice everywhere. This border on the outside would be really nice to be like, here's my dice rack. Here's my extra models over here in reserves and, I don't know, things like that. Or counters, your clocks over there.
Well, I guess the question is every tournament organizer going to cut down their mat from 6x4 to 60 by 44? And 6x4 is still viable for Warlord games.
I'm sure they're going to start manufacturing that.
AOS hasn't gotten smaller. I think AOS is still on.
Yeah, I think so.
6x4. So you're going to cut your own mat down? I mean, then you just got to go out and buy another $100 game mat. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, we had talked about cutting this one. It was like,
I'm not gonna. No.
Mats aren't cheap. I mean, the cheapest ones that we found, I found some double-sided ones for $75. That's the cheapest I ever found. You get it both sides, so. Yeah. But still, it's like hacking it up. I don't know. Just kind of makes you cringe a little bit.
Yeah, because, I mean, and then, I know we're just going into 9th edition, but 10th edition comes back and GW goes, oh, no, we need 6x4 again.
Yeah. Hey, we're selling game mats now. 6x4 game mats.
These are the best.
Brilliant marketing right there, actually.
Foreshadowing. You're going to need these new books, too.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't know. It looks a lot tighter. I'm a little worried about fast armies having an over advantage here.
I actually think the opposite. I think the fast armies, like whenever you guys play Eldar, they're already in the corner because they can go across the whole table right now.
Yeah.
Or Gene Stealers or whatever, super fast things that you're talking about. So they can already do that. Now that army on that side of the board's that much closer to these guys. And they're pushed up a little further, so they're not going to be able to hide in the back corner as much anymore, I think.
Yeah. You have the opposite viewpoint that I do, obviously, but if you have a gunline army who's going up against Gene Stealer cult with the Kraken allies, or Harlequins are ridiculously fast, Eldar's always fast. Even, White Scars can move too. They got that fancy flying, not jet bike.
Yep.
And if you're castled up in the corner on a 6x4 foot table, you might be able to make it a turn without getting touched by the bad touch.
Yeah, but Death Guard, you gotta remember, is one of his favorite armies. And now you'll be able to assault with them, probably. Whereas before, like, what was your biggest complaint about Death Guard?
Well, the biggest complaint with Death Guard is they couldn't get anywhere. You'd go 6 rounds with your opponent, and you'd be 3 points behind the entire game. And you'd hang on, but you could never win.
Charge them.
You need that extra 4 inches, and you just couldn't get it. Half and all of your charge distances, or your run distances. I can't remember what it's called. I'm rusty on this.
Yeah, well,
nobody's playing Warhammer because of Corona.
Yep. It's all right.
But yeah,
it'll be starting soon, I think.
As far as combat, I think Blood Angels are going to love this. Table size, I think. World Leaders, Grey Knights, anybody who's got some shooting, a healthy mix of close combat.
Mid-range armies are going to like it too.
Yeah, Knights are going to be ecstatic. As long I don't see how Knights don't win in this. I mean, there's still plenty of shooting in 40k, and it doesn't sound like they're going to get rid of the shooting meta in its entirety, but they're adding dimensions to this game where you're gonna be able to run a knight army or a large vehicle army, IG tank army, and you're gonna have enough cover. Because on top of that, it doesn't sound like they're changing the terrain in any way. They're just upping.
No, they're changing the terrain a lot from what I've.
No, but the amount of terrain.
Oh, the amount. Yeah, the amount's gonna stay the same, but you got to figure. You've lost so much board space on all sides.
Yeah, so it's compressing it, so you're going to have more cover.
The corridors, like we're looking at a knight right now. Like, we're going to show you guys, but we're looking at a knight just in between 2 hills right here, and this is the board already spread out pretty much as much as it can be.
I kind of like that. I've always liked terrain on a table. More terrain, the better. More blocking line of sight, the better.
Less terrain to have to paint.
I don't know about that.
I mean, overall, for the average gamers and stuff, you don't have to paint like tons and tons of terrain to have different table themes.
Yeah, you get 4 or 5 solid GW kits or aftermarket kits, and you can have a good looking table every time. And a smaller table with more terrain makes it look more realistic. You don't have 6 pieces spread out all over the place with big gaps. So I think it's going to be a positive. And I was not looking forward. First when I heard it's going to be 60 by 44, I was like, no, this is a bad idea. But looking at it on the table, having this border around our 6x4 foot mat to shorten up the board, it looks good.
I like the border. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, all the people that run channels and stuff that you listen to, they all sound pretty positive, but then you read all the comments from people, and they're like, oh, no, Sky's falling. But you get that every time. Every time there's a new edition, Sky's always falling. That's usually this guy. That's what I'm like. I'm kind of weirded out. I was positive about it.
I was just getting good at 8th or 7th edition when they came out with 8th. Of course, I was salty about it. 7th was the best. We'll bleep that part out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, stop cursing. Let's see. So they're gonna change terrain too. It's supposed to be more interactive from the sound of it. Like, I don't know, bunkers will have defenses. Like when they charge over it, they'll take, I don't know, mortal wounds or something. It sounds like.
That'll be interesting.
I'm just guessing. That would be cool.
Well, wasn't it that way in 5th edition? You had
interactive terrain effects and things.
You could get stuck in terrain, or you could get bogged down.
Well, dangerous terrain for tanks.
Dangerous terrain for tanks.
I used to immobilize on a 1.
Yeah. No.
I don't necessarily want that again.
That's great. No, just bring it back so I can break all my tanks without even getting shot.
Yeah. What's the other stuff that we've heard? Points increases.
Yeah.
Which is also going to make the games go faster. Along with the field size.
I'm not worried about the game going faster. It's going to go slow. If you have 2.5 hours to play a tournament game, you're going to find players that are going to take 2.5. You can make it a 1,000-point game. They'll still take 2.5 hours to play that 1,000-point game. Yeah. Well, they did it with. They increased.
There's no way.
They increased the time to 3 hours, and they couldn't get people to finish the game.
I know.
They tried to drop it to 2.5 or 2 and a quarter.
But now you can be a little more strict, I think, with players. Because, I mean, you've decreased the size. You've done everything. I'm talking like 2GW or tournament organizers and things like that. You've done everything in your power to make it their responsibility. Like, it's the onus is on the players now to get their games done. Like, before it was on them, but now it's like really on them, I feel like. So if the players aren't getting it done, there should be, in my opinion, there should be bigger penalties for not finishing your game. If you don't finish your game to a natural conclusion, and I'm not talking about talking it out, because I actually don't like that at all. I hate talking it out.
Talking it out is silly.
That's not playing the game to me,
no,
personally.
Unless you decide to talk it out before round one starts and you just both quit and go have a drink.
Yeah, if you're going to have beers and
eat some food or something, you just call it a 0-0 draw.
Just flip a coin.
Yeah. But if you get to round 4 and you got 20 minutes left and you're trying to talk out 2 more turns and associate point, you can't do that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Finish the game or cut the points where they are. Don't be adding fake points.
Yeah, because that just hurts everybody else in the tournament, especially when you're talking like the big tournaments that have hundreds of players. Then it's skewing the numbers one direction or another.
Well, you never know. You could argue that, oh, my guy will make it the next 18 inches because he's got to move 12 and he's got a 6 inch.
I'll definitely roll a 6 on that dice.
Or... You might roll a 1. You don't know.
Yeah.
So you take away that one extra secondary or tertiary point, and then it makes a difference at the end of the tournament.
Mm-hmm. It might not for the person's game. Like, if they're getting blown out, yes, that does happen. But that 1 point, 2 points, that could be somebody's whole tournament.
Top 10, that could change the whole top 10.
So, yeah, that's why I really don't like people talking it out. Mm-hmm. And this should get rid of that, I think. I don't know. Hopefully.
Nothing will get rid of that. People will just choose to do it or not.
Yeah. I don't know. So you guys can probably leave comments on the bottom and tell us what you think about that. That's my opinion.
We've gotten off topic.
That happens. We're talking about tournament stuff that'll wander into the nether. Plus, it's COVID, so, you know, there's not a lot of 40K going on. So,
no, we're kind of
make up your own
scatterbrained about 40K. What do we do in the tournaments?
Okay, so what is a 9th edition pie in the sky thing you hope they do? Other than stuff we already know they're doing, I guess.
Universal special rules.
Yeah.
They won't happen with keywords. They can't do it. It's too far.
Yeah.
They're too far into the keyword setup. And that's my 7th edition wish list right there.
I don't want them to kill hordes, but it really feels like they're trying to.
It doesn't make sense as to why they are, but
it's the game times. That's what everybody's... And a lot of people are trying to be positive about it. They're like, oh, hordes are still going to be a thing. It's just, from all the stuff that I'm hearing, it doesn't sound like...
because they released that blast weapon update. Did you see the blast weapon update?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see anybody but Space Marines over 5.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you have a unit of 6, and something's hitting them that has a D6 shots, it's going to get automatic 3 minimum, or more. If they roll, they get more. And then it was hordes 11 or more.
It was
they're considering a horde 11 or more.
6 to 10, any D
that gets the D3
roll. So it's a D3 or a D6. It's but a minimum of 3. So D3s are automatically getting full shots, regardless.
No.
Yeah, if they have the blast.
Oh, that's
true.
Have the blast if it's a D3, they get 3. Oh, okay.
Yep. Which?
Oh, I guess I missed that part. I just was looking at the D6.
Just hope your entire army has D3 blast weapons. It's actually that's an unusual buff. I don't know how many weapons out there D3 gonna be D3 blast. They said there was 174 weapons they were gonna give the blast keyword.
Upgrades. Or already had it.
I don't know if the blast keyword is.
They're counting all the grenades and stuff too.
Yeah, grenades are gonna have blast.
But yeah, if you're a unit of 11 or more, it's 6 minimum. So does that mean the 2d6 ones are gonna be 6 minimum, or are they gonna be maximum?
It'll be maximum.
So it's gonna be 12 hits.
Because you'd have 2 single D6. If it's
11, it sounds like hordes are gonna be lots of fun to play.
Well.
Now I sound like you.
I don't know what to tell you. I play elite armies. I don't care.
Yep. So it works real fun. I mean, I honestly don't really like playing the horde anyways.
It's hard.
No, at the end of the tournament, like, if you've ever moved 200 models, I know all the Orc players and the Gene Stealer Cook models and IG players, some of those out there too. Oh my god.
It's hard.
It
just takes it out.
Kills your back by the end of the day of just moving that much stuff around. Ugh. I don't think any of us really want that. It's not fun. Like, even if you're winning with it, it's just like such a headache. Ugh.
There's something to say about a guy who's got a Horde army that's fully painted and looks great, based, it's on a table, it's all matching, it looks cool. That's, hobby props to you, but in a tournament setting, it's just so hard to play something like that. Keep up and consistently keep your own energy as a player up, paying attention to what's going on with your army, what's going on with your opponent's army. You get to game 3. God forbid you play a 4-game tournament on a Saturday,
Oof.
and then 2 more on a Sunday. That I couldn't do. No way. And I've played Demon Horde armies in large tournaments, but Horde armies, they're not tournament friendly regardless of the
I don't want them to go away, though.
No, you don't want anything to go. I mean, there's a place for Tzeentch Horde armies, and lots of Poxwalkers is cool. 100 cultists on the table is cool.
Yeah, but also I don't like, even like running like 1 or 2 30-man blobs is still like, feels like you're cheating yourself from the sound of it.
I mean, the jump still exists, so.
Yeah. I wasn't just thinking about
And
that. I was
you're
thinking
gonna
like the Bloodletter Bomb. Zangors.
Yeah, but they have a 5-up info save. I mean, it's not much, but you can't. Blast isn't taking away your info. And often the blast weapons are hitting on at least 3 or 4 plus.
But you're doubling the number of hits that they usually get.
Yeah, well. I mean,
You're gonna die a lot more are gonna be dead.
You got so many gates to get through still. I mean, if you have a double Gatling cannon or a double battle cannon and you 2d6, you make 12 shots against a 20-man squad of Bloodletters. Well, you still got to hit them.
Half of them are going to go away.
You still got to hit them.
Yeah.
Even though you get automatic 12 shots. Or is it automatic 12 hits?
No, it's 12 shots. Oh my god.
Ridiculous, but it's just everything's a flamer weapon now.
Oh, wait a minute. I wonder what they're going to do with flamers. They haven't actually said that, have
they did say that. Well, they didn't say what they're going to do with them, but they did say that they're not
6
getting,
automatic hits on the D6?
they're not getting a blast weapon. It's in GW's preview of their rules that flamer weapons are not getting blast. Yeah, so they're not following the blast templates from 7th and previous editions. It's whatever they've got some examples. I think there was a Tyrannid weapon and a squig bomb, I don't know, some squiggy orgy thing. But flamers are not getting it, unfortunately.
I think that's probably a good thing. I remember 7th edition. Our buddy Alan, I used to play him all the time. He would complain all the time whenever I'd hit him with flamers, my Burnus, because they would put the template over the top of his what was it? His Raiders.
His open top Raiders.
His open top Raiders, and you get like D6 on all the guys inside. So I'd be like frying the guys inside.
Don't even see the models.
Narratively, that made sense to me.
Yeah. Well, you could do it to trucks.
That too. Yeah. I mean, we got coming back at us. Same. Yeah. I don't know.
The only ones that were safe for Space Marines.
Yeah.
Unless you were in a speeder. They had open top transport speeders, didn't they?
Just for scouts.
Just for scouts. Well, your scouts got fried.
Yeah.
Who's playing 7th edition scouts in speeders?
Actually, I did for a while. One of my White Scars. Yeah, that was kind of funless. Well, all those regular Marines are going to be gone soon, too.
Oh, yeah.
I have a bunch in there, too.
Just convert them all to Chaos.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, until they get the Primaris treatment.
Chaos ain't going to get Primaris treatment. They just make them slightly beefier models and leave them Chaos Space Marines. Doesn't make any sense doing it. Now we're getting to lore and non-tactical.
Yeah.
This is a different road.
Yeah. I don't know. This next year is going to be weird. Both because of the 9th edition thing and because of COVID. Like, when's the next tournament supposed to start, I wonder? Locally, anyways.
I've heard some guys...
We're in the Northwest, by the way. I don't think we mentioned that, actually.
I've heard some rumblings with our team that they're trying to put in an RTT in the next...
I would go.
And I've heard talk about GTs locally, but nothing written in stone. Nothing for sure. But then again, politics and stuff.
Yeah, we'll keep that off the channel as much as possible.
You never know what your local authorities are going to say when it comes to the COVID. Just
I feel like we're on the tail end of it.
Don't get yourself in trouble. That's all I can say.
Definitely on the tail end of it, though. I feel like knock on wood again, just in case. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else to say? I think that's probably it to wrap this one up.
I think that's it.
All right, guys. I guess we'll see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
More updates to come. Probably some bat reps starting soon. And you guys...
Those are in the works.
Yep.
Kind of waiting on 9th edition. Nobody wants to see 8th edition.
Yeah, who wants to see 8th right now? It's like, yeah.
We might do an 8th edition with this board table set
We'll
up.
try this table sides with 8th edition. Because that'll technically... Because the points increase, we'll have more models on the smaller board right now.
Yeah, we'd have a larger... technically a larger army on the board.
We'll try it out, see how it is. That might be a good starting point to judge it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, we'll see. All right, anything else to add?
Make you guys... make yourselves up a cool little MDF mat thing here. Shorten up your table. Don't cut your mats. Please don't cut your mats. Don't do it.
Just
I'm
wait.
sure... I think FLG is already advertising that they're going to come out with 5x4 something mats, 44-inch mats. Don't quote me on that. I have no idea, but I know that somebody's going to make a mat. Don't cut your original mat.
No.
If worst comes to worst, just put some tape on your table and get some painter's tape, mark it out.
This setup wasn't that bad at all. I would recommend this over anything, personally.
Just the MDF board?
Yeah, that's what we
if
did.
you got the tools, I think we spent $12 making this board. You guys will see it here in a second. And
if you have power tools.
I had the power tools sitting in the garage, so it took us half an hour to cut this out.
We already had paint on hand, too. So
Poorly
spray
it black, and lay it down on there. Minor adjustments to fit the table in it. It looks pretty good. I think it'll work out well.
Looks like a picture.
It does look like a picture.
All right. Enough rambling. We're rambling, for sure. All right, see you guys. Have a good one.
Later.
That's good. It's hard to keep the content going. It's just like,
what we should do is have a whiteboard with "Stay on focus."
All right, there you go.